Welcome to another episode on our channel. I wanted to take a stab at Joan of Arc, and this has some artistic freedoms involved, but let me first say that she was born in 1419 and died in 1431. She was burned at the stake by the English. She, of course, led out in famous battles during the Hundred Years' War between the English and the French. At that time, Henry VI was challenging the sovereignty of Charles VII, and the English were making invasions into France to conquer territory and so forth. She believed with all of her heart she had visions that she was to lead France in terms of their freedom, and was able to gain the ear of the future King of France, as well as other individuals within the hierarchy of leadership, and was able to lead in several battles, not to fight per se, but to lead the armies and to direct where the armies should go. I think she was wounded a couple times during various conflicts, one arrow to the neck and a wound to her leg. She survived all that, only later to be captured by the English and burned at the stake at the age of 19. So she was very instrumental in leading the armies and helping them gain confidence in their ability to fight the English, and eventually in terms of their sovereignty as a nation, liberated or led the country in the direction of being able to free themselves from English rule. So, yeah, she, from what I understand, there's no real clear depictions of her in terms of paintings or statues or that sort of thing, but some written accounts have noted that she had black hair that was cut very short, like a bob cut, and this is the closest head I could find that would match that. She wore men's armor. Apparently she was left-handed, so the sword is on her right side. So here's a woman who believed in something fervently, and as a result, presented her cause and was listened to, and probably turned things around for France, only to die at a very tender age of 19. So we'll pause now and get her on a tray so we can see her from different angles. We are back, and recognizing I took some artistic liberty and added a skirt because I didn't have full armor. I hope you forgive me for that. But the armor is kind of interesting. Of course, the feet were covered with armor, as well as the calves and the thighs and the forearms, the hands, the chest, the shoulders, and so forth. What's interesting is if you look on the side, you can see there's a little piece here that kind of juts out. I imagine that's to take protect the leg a little more forcefully by giving it a little more cushion, because it kind of bows out a bit on each side. You can see it maybe more on this side as it kind of bows out. All right. So yeah, she was dressed for battle. It's my understanding in reading some of the accounts that she did not participate in battle other than to lead the men in battle. That didn't mean she wasn't injured along the way. Even holding a banner, she was fair game. And like I said, she took a shot to the neck with an arrow and survived that process, a wound to the leg and survived that process, but was not scared, apparently, of leading people into battle. And the rumor, of course, that the fighting men had heard was that a young virgin female virgin was going to lead them to victory. And when they heard the rumor, they believed they could. They began to start to believe that they could win, and so they did begin to win. So you can see the armor from each side. So she is dressed for protection, but was not fully protected in the end. The neck was a vulnerable area, and somehow there was an injury to the leg, perhaps in the upper area, or from behind as well. So anyway, we'll get some closer views from here on up, and then of her face. So I could have tried to mimic Mila Jovovich, who portrayed Joan of Arc in the movie The Messenger, or go with the more accurate depiction of Joan of Arc with black hair. And I used a Joe Valentine head for that process. Regardless, we don't know exactly what she looked like, except she had dark hair. She was considered attractive. She had a short neck. And she was built too, and could hold herself. I think she wore her armor 8 days straight or 7 days straight, which I'm sure is not an easy thing to do. The stuff probably weighs a ton. So we'll turn her from side to side so you can get a better view of her from different angles. And this side, keeping in mind she's left-handed again. All right. And we'll pause now and get a close-up of her face. So here is a close-up of her as I have depicted her. I think there were 70 to 80 charges against her with the tribunal that questioned her. They couldn't find anything that would be considered something that would go against the church. In the end, she was imprisoned, given without indictment, given a life sentence for wearing men's clothing and saying that she heard saints' voices speaking to her. And it would remain a life sentence unless she would start cross-dressing and or hearing voices from the saints again. And I think 3 days later, she expressed guilt at, I guess, denying God by saying she no longer heard saints' voices and started dressing in men's clothing. How that happened in prison, who knows? But she was then burned at the stake. So this is a close-up of her. I hope you like this artistic impression of her. I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.